welcome to 2020 Design Trends by UXPin. Today I'm joined by Agata. Agata, would you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, it's the hardest part of this interview. In UX world, I'm on almost 6 years. Professionally, I'm senior UX designer and I'm UX researcher. Basically, I'm one-man army of UX now in my company. But I'm a design psychologist too, and I'm clinical psychologist, seriously. Yeah, and what can be important now? I'm work on ClickMeeting and educate young UX designers in InfoShare Academy and Wyższa Szkoła Bankowa. And I think that it's enough. You can find me on LinkedIn and a lot of UX industry events.
Okay. Thank you. You said that you're a psychologist, so I think you would have to say a lot about trends when it comes to brands being more human and UX being more like having more human touch. So I would like to start with this like maybe not exactly UX question, but this is a very, very important trend as far as I'm concerned, for example, because I'm seeing more real life in design, like real life beauty in fashion, for example, or trying to be as human as possible, as simple as possible in design in general, but also fashion. So what would you say, what is your opinion on this on this trend? Do you think it's going to be really hitting it off in 2020?
Yeah, I think, yeah, like you said, I think that it's a kind of professional deviation. I think about people first, and I think that it's a huge topic, and it's a big influence. What happened now? It's a big influence for our lives, and I think that we don't see now, but maybe our children can live in totally other world, and I think that we are part of it now. Yeah. Maybe you can say what do you mean first in this huge topic? What is the first part of this?
Mm-hmm. Well, because you know where my thoughts come from is that we experience this whole like digitalization and social media stuff on one hand, and on the other, brands want to be more human, build communities, and like have this customer first approach. So I think this is where this trend comes from like showing the real face, the real human face of brands, and I'm sure it's showing in fashion and photography. And do you think this will stay or just stay there in fashion and photography, or not in technology?
Yes, I think that this trend, what we see, it's this trend of real beauty, real fly beauty. It's something new, and it's coming from bored women with artificial Instagram beauty.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I saw research shows that social media are making people depressed. I think that you know about it because it's that popular last time, because we see unreal world, and this perfect world it's imperfect. And I think that this trend will develop because more and more people need it. I believe that it will stay and grow stronger. I believe, because I want it. I think it's
the psychologist part of you.
Yeah, it's my psychologist thinking. I think about people, and I think that it can be better for them than actually social media. It's it's not this way what we want to
Oh.
see other people and see world, I think.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Well, you said that what you anticipate also is that our kids, or like the kids of today, when they grow up, the landscape of design will be like totally different. So, what do you think? How will the generation Alpha shape this section, like shape design? What are their expectations? What do you think?
Mm-hmm. It's interesting question because these people still on ill diapers. It's I saw that research now 27% of adults said they ask for their kids' opinion before they buy a new TV, new laptop, new tablet or iPhone. Now 27%, and of course I think that it's a new landscape of design because all generations are changing the landscape of design. For example, do you remember Apple product? There has been a huge change over the last 10 years in everything. Design, technology, even the size of screens. Yeah. We have no keyboards, and it's only 10 years. And I think that the generation born in the year, what is important is the generation born in the year of the launch of Instagram and iPad. It's a sign. I think that they will expect more interaction than previous generation. Mm-hmm. VR will be a daily reality for them, I think. Mm-hmm. And it's like today we see small children trying to touch and swipe the butterfly on the bus window. I think that the gestures are native to them from birth, and the same situation. I think that Gen Alpha can have kind of native, different thinking about interaction. Mm-hmm. And what is the interesting point, and I hope so, that when you look at the development of home appliances, mm-hmm. I think that the everyday automation will also be obvious, because I think that will be obvious for them because it's maybe on the 5 or 10 years you can come home and your smart home inserts coffee and turn up the heating, and of course I hope so that it's the future.
Like do you remember maybe the cartoon The Jetsons?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that is totally my image when you told that. That would be so cool to live in this world. Just fingers crossed it's going to happen like that.
But maybe not this kind of cars, yeah. Not this.
Yeah, that was lame. So maybe not the cars.
It's a good idea to, when you come home and your smart home inserts you coffee and say, okay, it's for you. It's turns up the heating and it's relax. Yeah.
have things done by robots. Well, speaking of robots and like this sci-fi almost like future, what is your view on AI and AR, VR in design?
I think that it certainly has a lot of potential, and I'm glad that we live in the times that enable us to do so. Like Jetsons. Yeah, because I don't think that it will take our job away from us because it's popular type of talking about it topic, because oh my god, AI take my job, and mm-hmm. no, I think that it will make our job easier. Mm-hmm. And in this case, for me, the best part, for example, now is possibility to transforming handwritten user interface design into a valid HTML markup code. It's the best. And I think that it's the best example of this thinking about AI it's not our enemy. It's I think that it can be all things can be easier. AI allows you to strengthen your search capabilities, improve the interaction with visitors, provide personalized use service. We have some successful companies who use AI and design in a new way. For example, maybe you know Wix or Squarespace.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, the most interesting is the human aspect, of course. And human aspect of AI, for example, is a self-driving car, which needs to make now it's reality. Needs make decision during an accident, whether to rescue an older woman or a child.
Yeah.
And this is the difficult of ethical issues which we will face. And I think that is the most interesting part of AI, because AI needs sometimes to make decision like people, but AI don't have empathy.
Yeah.
And it can be our challenge for next years, because it's not that hard to make some business based on AI when you design new websites and all of this stuff, of course. But I think that the most interesting part is this empathy in AI, because we need to make decision. For example, you rescue older woman or a child. Yeah, if you're a mother, you rescue maybe child. But if someone have only parents, maybe this person think that older woman can be better.
Yeah.
And I think that it's an interesting part of it.
Yeah, so I feel you totally, because I strongly believe that these are the tools that we are supposed to use, but use them wisely, and learn to maintain them, right? Or shift them into what we want as humans for them to do. Yeah, sure. So one more question to you, Agata. What are your professional goals for 2020? Because we talked about these big trends and psychology, AI, like human touch and everything. But I want to see your individual point.
Okay, my individual part. For a year, I've been working on a mobile app, for my company. And now it's my main and my very own project now. My very own, because I am at the same time project owner and UX designer in the same project. And it's a big challenge. And we want to finish in the first half of this year. And that is my top professional priority at the moment. But I have to admit that my last year was very intense for me. Both professionally and privately, and this is my second goal, because this is why I would like to maintain my work-life balance and spend more time with loved ones. And I think that is the same level on goals.
Yeah, sure, totally. I wish you all the balance in the world to have your professional goals met, and also to be present with your loved ones. Thank you very much for joining us, for your insights and your amazing personality that you share with us. Thank you.